Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. We are back with a win, back with a smile on our faces. Emma, thank you for taking the time to join me. Always a pleasure to get you on. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling positive. But yeah, no, I'm glad that we got the win today. So I'm feeling very, very happy.
Yeah, me too. I mean, to be fair, performance-wise, you wouldn't say it was the most outstanding performance, but I thought going forwards, we always looked a threat. Definitely did. Bruno, I thought was phenomenal. He had a lot of sticky midweek. He gave the ball away. I think it was 34 times or something. He did play poor in the week, but the one thing I will say, he's always trying something, and it pays off every now and again, like he did today. But yeah, going into this game, Emma, a lot of people were saying if Ollie loses this, his time is done. Like he always seems to do, he gets the result when he needs it most. I'm going to come out and ask you straight away on this because we haven't spoke since the Arsenal game, but Ollie in or Ollie out?
Oh, 100%. I'm Ollie. 100% Ollie in. And the thing is, I feel like Ollie thrives under pressure. Like when there's a bit of pressure, Ollie gets the win. He gets the good performances. So I'm definitely Ollie in. I don't get all this stick. Like we were just saying backstage, like as soon as results don't go our way, as soon as we get a loss, that's it. The Ollie outers are straight in there. Ollie out, Ollie out, Ollie out. And I don't know if you've seen his reaction after the game. Like he was going like mental, like saying about the game's been so close together. We should have been playing so early on a Saturday morning. And I like seeing that passion from him. Like we've seen a bit more from Ollie at the moment, and I'm liking that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And to be fair, all top clubs have to deal with the same problem, but you can understand the frustration. The fact that we played on Wednesday and then with the early kickoff on a Saturday, normally it's moved to a Sunday. Like for example, City, Liverpool, their game moves to Sunday. So I get the frustration, but I think when you're in Europe, it is tough, and that's just one of the things that comes with it. But I fully sympathise. Obviously, Luke Shaw apparently he's injured from it now. In terms of Luke Shaw, Emma, I'll be honest and put my neck out here and say that I think Luke Shaw last few games has been one of our standout players. I think he's been playing really, really well, and it's really unfortunate that injuries hit back again.
I mean, yeah, I said that. I mean, like before, I used to be really critical of Shaw, but of late he has been absolutely fantastic, and maybe that is down to the competition that he's had. He's given him a kick up the bum to work harder. Like we've seen it, his crosses have been amazing. He got an assist today. Fantastic cross into Bruno, off Bruno's head. And that's what I like to see from Shaw. So I do feel so bad that he was taken off and he's injured. And isn't it like he's got a hamstring or something? So that could be best scenario 4 weeks, I think, maybe. So I do feel gutted for him because that competition of Telles coming in has given him this new confidence, this new boost to push on and work harder. And it's paid off because he's been fantastic.
He has been fantastic. Like you said there, in the Solskjær has been excellent. But unfortunately, he's injured, he's going to be out. But this could be the little opening that Telles maybe, obviously, he's been out with COVID and whatnot. This might be a run of games that he can now get in a United shirt. We get to see a bit more of him. I'm just hoping that he can get back fit and break into that team because we've seen a glimpse of Telles, haven't we? We all liked what we saw of him. Cavani getting his first goal today as well. I want to touch on that. Obviously, Bruno really unselfishly. I love the way he did it. He could have got his hat trick, slots it to Cavani. Knew that it was important. He got on the score sheet, got his first goal, and he finished it like a true professional. Didn't he? Finished it like a proper finisher. We all know he's a goal scorer. Gave the keeper the eyes. Went near post. How good was it to see Cavani hitting the net as well today, Em?
Oh, it was so good. Literally, when he came on, I was having a discussion with Carl, and I was just like, the thing is with Cavani, he can't keep having 10 minutes here and there. I think he needs some time to get into the game. And as I said that, he goes and blooming scores. And I was like, okay, then maybe he didn't need a bit of time. But I think Ollie did say he's still not as sharp yet. So maybe that's why he's not getting his game time. But like we've seen, his movement in the box is amazing. He's a poacher. And that's what we want to see. So I'm buzzing for him. I'm glad that he's just got his first goal out the way now.
Yeah. United for Life says, "Hey girls, hope you're keeping well and staying safe. Huge win for United and Ollie today. So important to get the 3 points before the international break. Completely agree with that." And D makes good points. Up, down, up, down. What is it, Emma? Why do you think we are so inconsistent? Because we're so frustrating to watch. Literally, any United could turn up on any given day, and it's so annoying as a fan to watch, isn't it? I bet it's annoying for Ollie as the manager as well. But why do you think we are so inconsistent?
I don't know. I don't know if Ollie just needs to settle on a formation and figure out what his best starting 11 is. Maybe he just needs that structure of get a formation that works and the players that he wants. Sometimes I feel like Ole doesn't know what his best 11 is. He doesn't know who to play. For me, Donny van de Beek wasn't his signing, so I feel like Ole is struggling to put Donny in the team somewhere. As much as we all know that he's a great player, he's a clever player, I just feel like because he wasn't Ole's signing, that he just doesn't know where to play him. And I think maybe that's where it comes from. That's where we need the consistency of Ole just needs to figure out what formation and what players he wants and for what type of games.
Yeah, I think obviously he's good squad depth. We've mentioned that with Van der Beek, but is he going to be content with sitting on the bench? He must be sitting there now scratching his head thinking, why on earth did I join Manchester United at the moment? Like, I feel frustrated for him. But at the same time, when we signed him, I remember the ladies in red, all of us were there discussing Van der Beek and where we thought he was going to fit in. And we all said he wasn't a priority. And actually, we didn't know where he was going to fit in. And we were excited to see where it was going to pan out. And at this moment in time, it seems that Ole is still trying to figure that out, isn't he? He's still struggling to fit him in. But obviously, Pogba missed out today, came on towards the end. And I think it was the right decision, in all fairness. And I saw a few tweets today saying that our midfield played better without Paul Pogba in it. Would you agree with those statements right now?
I do agree with it, and I absolutely love Pogba. I absolutely adore him. But I've said it since the competition has come with like Donny. I think him coming off the bench makes more of an impact at the moment because he's risking losing his place and he knows it. So he works harder when he's on the bench, and then he comes on and he puts in a good performance. But when we see him when he's starting, he just looks like he can't be bothered. Like he's already won that position. He has the right to play there every single game. So I think Ole has made the right decision. I think Pogba needs to be on the bench and for the next few games as well.
Mark says that Pogba's a little lazy. I don't know if it's laziness. It's almost like he's nonchalant, is it? Like he acts sometimes like the game's a bit too easy for him. And I think when you're winning, yeah, you can do those little flicks and that. But when you're not winning, you need that bit of fight and that bit of spirit, if you like. And it's like Pogba has been lacking that. But like I've mentioned with every other player, and it's exactly the same for Paul Pogba, competition is good. And I think the fact that he's been pushed back to the bench, that should get the best out of Paul Pogba. What else can make Paul Pogba kick on in the United shirt than being dropped? Like he needs to get back fighting and fight for his spot. And I think that's what we want to see from Pogba. There's no doubt in his ability. It's more that fight, isn't it? And I'm hoping that we do get the best out of him. David there says a bit of arrogance. Yeah, you could say it's a bit of arrogance, but we know the potential. We know how good Paul Pogba is. We just need to see more of that Paul Pogba. And I think we need to play him in his right position. I get that. And a bit like the Van der Beek one, I think it's more working out where do we fit Paul Pogba in there, because it seems he likes McTominay and Fred playing together. I want to ask you about them two, actually. Fred, I thought man of the match today, by the way. Fred was everywhere. Quality, bombing forward with the ball, driving the team forwards. I thought he was superb today, Fred. And McTominay compliments him well. He really does. And people are mixed on McTominay. A lot of people say that he's not good enough for United. He's not a glamorous player, I'll give him that. But him and Fred seems to work, doesn't it?
I have mixed reviews about it. I think it depends where they play together. Like if Fred's playing CDM and Scott's playing off the right, that does not work. That really doesn't work because Scott keeps drifting back and it ends up with being two holding, and then it offers nothing off the right because we've lost that. If you start like we did today with Scott and Fred as the holding, it's perfect. They worked well together. So I think it is where you play them.
Yeah, I think Fred, I've said this many times before, I think he tries to take too many touches, if you like, sometimes, and he makes mistakes, he gets nicked off him. But in terms of winning the ball back, like Fred has to be in there for me. There's no player that matches his tenacity, able to cover the ground the way that he does, the way he intercepts passes, the way he tries to shield the back four. It is important to get a steady player next to him. Is McTominay that steady player? I'm not so sure about it. But like you say, I think it depends on the team that we're playing against. That midfield today of Everton, Decore, Allen, obviously they've got James in there as well. You're looking at that midfield and thinking this is going to be a battle today. And to be fair, we won that battle. I think that game in the midfield was massive today and we won the battle. So, yeah, I think obviously after the break, we've got West Brom. And then I believe the next league game is Southampton. So you're looking at Southampton at the top at the moment. West Brom, you'd say, is probably an easier test. But for me, these are the kind of games that we really struggle in. And this is where I want to see us kick on now after this international break. We cannot write them off. And to be fair, from the league so far, from some of the results that we've seen, no game is an easy game, is it, Emma?
No, 100%. Is West Brom at home as well?
Yes.
Yeah, it's at home. And obviously, at the moment, our home record is absolutely shocking. So there's an extra worry there. But like you said, West Brom, we should be winning that game. We should be getting the 3 points. Southampton I think will be a different kind of game. Maybe a game with a bit more excitement, but definitely we need to kick on and get the 3 points. Hopefully the international break will give the team a bit of a confidence, a bit more sharpness about them. Because obviously we have seen a lot of the players dipping in form. Like Rashford today, I don't think he did particularly well. His passing was a bit sloppy. So I'm hoping this international break coming up will do some good there as well.
Yeah, Rashford as well, obviously, he's another one who could be injured. His shoulder, at the end, he looked like he was struggling with his shoulder. So hopefully he's not going to be out for long. But I agree with you, Rashford didn't play that well today. I thought we were a constant threat going forwards, but his decision-making, his final ball simply wasn't good enough. And I stand by that. But Bruno Fernandes, Miles has said it here, Bruno for captain. Sooner or later, that's got to happen, hasn't it? He's just such a leader. He's a guy that we turn to. He doesn't shy out of challenges. He fights, and yet he does give the ball away a lot. I fully understand. And when it's not going well, it's so frustrating to watch a player constantly giving the ball away. But he is always trying something, isn't he, Emma?
No, he 100% is. And if you watch today's game, he was shouting constantly. He was already on a yellow card, and I thought, goodness, Bruno, like, calm down a bit. You're going to be getting a yellow and be sent off in a minute, because it was flying into tackles. He was shouting at other players, saying where they're going wrong. He was acting like a leader on that pitch today, and that's what we want. And I love his angriness. I absolutely love his angriness, because, like I said many times, we haven't really got those kind of players like the Keane, the Cantona players, and I see that in Bruno. So for me, as much as I do like Maguire, but Maguire is not demanding enough. I think he doesn't demand enough from his players, especially from his back line. He's not demanding more from them. And you see Bruno, like today, he was shouting at players. I think he was shouting at Axel at one point when he came on. And he's just got that fire in his belly. And like, I was just laughing today, like he's like a stressy teenage boy that's playing a game that doesn't like it when it doesn't go his way, and he's just full of passion. I absolutely love it.
Love that. He is full of passion. VSG, thank you so much for the super chat. Just loved Ollie's interview. The players need to be protected in times like these. The scheduling was a joke after a midweek game less than 60 hours ago. Yeah, I was surprised, to be fair, to see us playing at 12:30. I was really surprised with that, but we knew, obviously, post-COVID and that as well, it's going to be a hectic schedule. But like I say, if you're in the top competitions, for me, you can't really complain, because it's just part and parcel. It just comes with it, Emma. Every other team has to put up with it. I'm sure other teams will be frustrated at some points regarding the creative fixtures as well. But did you understand Ollie's frustration with that? Like, do you think it was right for him to come across in the interview and vocalise that?
Yeah, 100%, because it probably does feel like Man United are being victimised most of the time. And I liked actually seeing Ollie stand up for once and like be very, very vocal about it. He disagreed with it, and he was vocal about it. And when I was watching him, I was like, go on, Ollie. Like, actually, you do have a backbone. You are not all this smiley person that everyone is portraying. Yes, you do smile, but you've got that cutthroat inside you. And when something is wrong, you say it how it is. And I think he had the right to say it, because I think it was a bad situation. I know Leicester had the same situation, didn't they? Play like Thursday and then Sunday or something like that. So it is frustrating for teams, but I think Ollie was in the right for saying it in his interview.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, sometimes got injured. It's unfortunate. It happens, but this is why we keep screaming for squad depth, isn't it? This is why we know that being in Champions League, being Europe, it's going to be a crazy set of fixtures, and unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. But I agree with you said, like, Ollie's showing a bit of a ruthless side to him, because a lot of people see him smiling and say he's got no backbone, he's a PE teacher and whatnot. And I've said it all along. He's obviously won so many titles, won the Champions League. You don't get to that point in your career if you're not super competitive, if you're not a champion, if you haven't got that mentality. And I'm sure Ollie has got a ruthless side that we don't see much of, but I'm pretty sure he'll have it. You just don't survive in those Manchester United dressing rooms with the leaders that he's played with if you haven't got a ruthless side to you. So I genuinely do think he has got that. Tactically, is what I've always said, that I feel that he does deserve to be criticised, and I'm hoping that he proves us, like, not us, I'm not an Ollie outer, but proves the Ollie outers wrong, should I say. But Adam B72, thank you for the super chat. He says, big shout out to Sophie and Emma. Would you start Cavani against West Brom and move Martial to the left? Obviously, Rashford could be a doubt for that one. If Rashford is out, is that something you'd do, Em?
Yeah, 100%. I said this earlier. I said if Rashford is out with that shoulder injury, then I would definitely put Martial on the left and have Cavani. Definitely, because Cavani needs a game time as well. He needs to sharpen up. And I think it would be nice to see kind of Martial and Cavani, maybe that link up play, to see how that works out as well. Might as well take the risk while if Rashford is out, why not? It's a better time to start playing around with it up top.
Yeah, definitely. I think it does all hinge on the Rashford fitness situation. If Rashford is out, then I'd probably love to see Cavani. You know, I agree with you. I think I'd like to see them as a front two rather than Cavani being there and Martial forced out wide. I think I would like to see a front two, definitely. Loving the show. Not sure if I've missed it, but honestly, how did Pickford get away with that challenge on Maguire? You haven't missed it. You just reminded me to talk about it. So thank you for that. I mean, what I will say, yeah, if they came out and said afterwards it wasn't given as a penalty because Maguire pushed Pickford in the initial challenge, because to be fair, he did give him a little shove, then I'd be like, fair enough, at least we've got an explanation. But to say that it wasn't a foul, Emma, how? Please, can someone clarify how that was not a foul? It literally.
I mean, like, how is it not a foul? Pickford has made contact with Maguire in the box. Yes, Maguire was very theatrical and went down, but he still made contact. And in my book, that's a foul. That what he did, what I seen, it was a foul. And I don't understand how that was not a penalty. I really don't. VAR done us today, I think, on penalties.
I couldn't believe it. I watched it several times and thinking, am I missing something here? And the only thing I could think is that because Maguire pushed him before, it would have been a foul to Pickford prior to the penalty. But that wasn't mentioned at all. So that obviously wasn't the thought process. They just deemed that not to have been a foul. And I don't understand it. Literally, him and Keane have both full on scissor kicked Maguire. He needed the ball into the air, and obviously they've gone at him afterwards. And I couldn't get my head around it as to why that wasn't given. And why is it always Pickford, Emma? Why is it always Pickford involved in these incidents?
I don't know. Like, he's so reckless as well with his challenges like that. And I don't know if it's maybe they're protecting him. I don't know what it is that he just gets away with this. And he is very reckless. And I just don't understand why he's not been given these decisions. Like, before, he should have been sent off. Today, it should have been a penalty. Like, what's going to happen next? What's he going to do? Is he going to seriously injure someone next time with his reckless challenges? I just don't know. I just don't know what it is with Pickford, but I don't think he's going to stop. He's going to keep making these challenges.
Oh, he has already seriously injured someone, hasn't he? In Van Dijk, to be fair, he put him out for pretty much the season. So yeah, well, shocking. Yeah. It was shocking. It wasn't a shocking challenge today as such. It was just, like you say, reckless, stupid. It just doesn't think, does he? He just flies in. Jerome, thank you for the super chat. He says, silly mistakes, yeah. What's the point in continuing the charade with Ollie? We win, then lose, then draw, then win. Just can't be consistent enough. Consistency equals trophies. And that is it, isn't it? That's how we push on. We need consistency. We're like a yo-yo at the minute. Day in, day out. Like, it's so hard being a United fan, because like I mentioned at the start of the stream, any United gig could turn up on any given day, and it's just so annoying that you can't predict what's going to happen. You can predict there's going to be some form of mistake. That seems to be the only thing we can predict at the moment. But yeah, we're so exciting going forwards, and we've been so dreadful at the back, and that's like so annoying. It's so annoying, but because we're so exciting going forwards, it gives you that glimmer of hope, doesn't it? That we can push on and we can build on it. Let's hope that today, yet again, is the platform to kick on from, Emma.
Yeah, no, I get that. So you keep breaking up, so I couldn't catch what the last question was.
So we're asking about the consistency. Where is it? Like, to make us a top team now, obviously we need consistency, don't we?
Oh no, yeah, 100%. Consistency is key. And like the comment says, consistency wins us trophies. I don't know how we're going to get consistency. Like I said before, maybe Ole just needs to work on what formations he wants and what players he wants, and just set on that. But I don't know. I don't know how we're going to work this consistency out. I don't know what we have to do, because players on a day can be absolutely fantastic, like we've seen, you know, Leipzig, PSG, and then we could go into the Premier League and be absolutely dreadful and play shocking football. Can't string two passes together, moving the ball really, really slowly, and it's like we are two different teams at times. You know,
but Jekyll and Hyde.
The same teams can play, but it's just annoying. It's really annoying.
Do you think though, and this is an honest question, and I'm throwing this out to the chat as well, the inconsistency, is that on the head of the manager, on the head of the players, or is it on the head of both? Is it a bit of a mixture? For me, I think it's a bit of a mixture. I think the players need to take onus, take responsibility as well, because at times we played the same team and we just haven't turned up. And I think the players have to take some responsibility. But at the same time, when it's not working, I think you need to look to Ole to switch it up a bit. And I think that's where we've lacked. But yeah, like, get in the chat, let us know what you think, guys. Who is to blame for the lack of consistency? And what do you think, Emma?
I agree. I think it's both. You know, it is down to players as well, because like you said, Ole could play the same team, and one game they could be absolutely fantastic, and the other game they could be absolutely poor. But on the other hand, Ole does need to see if something's not working, like in the last game when Scott was playing, and he played the full 90 minutes, and you could see right from the start that Fred and Scott was not working together, because Scott was playing off the right and he kept moving back into a CDM role.
He couldn't cope in that diamond, could he?
No, he couldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
It just didn't work, and I was just like, Ole, you need to. This is the criticism I'm going to give you. You need to see that and see it's not working. Bring him off and put Donny on. Donny would have offered a lot more. So I think it is both.
I agree. And one thing I will say I hate, and I do hate it, is how reactionary is on Twitter now. The second we score a goal, I'm looking at people saying Ole in, and we can see the goal and I'm saying Ole out. And I'm like, that's not how you base it. A fan base doesn't base it one game at a time. You're either Ole in or you're Ole out. And for me, even if results are going well, even if you're not playing well, for me, you want the best for your club. So if it means Ole has to go in order to for the best of the club, yes, fair enough. But changing it game after game, the way people are fluctuating, and the way almost today it felt like people were hoping that we lost so that Ole got the sack. I don't like that, Emma.
No, I don't. I've literally seen so many tweets, and I had someone in my channel like the other day when I was talking about the Ole situation, and someone in the channel put, I want Manchester United to lose so Ole gets sacked. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't understand how any fan of Manchester United could want your team to lose just so a manager gets sacked. Whether you like the manager or not, you should never wish your team to lose. Like, you're not a fan. That is definitely not a fan in my eyes.
I agree. And look, I'm not sitting here saying no one has an opinion and you can't say I'm Ole out. That's fair enough. If you're Ole out, like I say, I understand why he gets criticised. Tactically, I agree. He needs to prove himself. Sometimes he's not helping himself with some of the stuff he's been saying recently, or some of the players he's been picking. I get that, and he deserves criticism. But am I sitting here saying I hope the man loses his job? No, I'm hoping that actually he sorts it out and he turns it around. That should always be the hope, surely. And it's like, to be fair, I was on TalkSport on Monday and I said the same thing. In football, how often now do you see a long-term manager at a club? It just doesn't seem to happen. Unfortunately, that's the way that the game has gone. And so, but it's like instantly, the second that the result doesn't go the way that we wanted it to go, Ole out comes to mind. And I'm thinking, no, we should be more thinking how we're going to react to this, how we're going to bounce back. Because we know that sacking the manager, it's just going to be a repeated cycle where we'll get another manager in, might back him for a little bit, they'll stop backing him, leave him to kind of rot. And then when the new manager bouncer's gone, the players get comfortable again and we're stuck in that same rut. So like I say, it's a mixture of players and the manager. I'm not sitting here saying you can't be Ole out, because that is completely fair enough. I say Ole's the man for now. Is he the man for long term? Is he the man to take us to the best next level even? I don't even know. But for me, he's no guy for now. And I just don't like the way people fluctuate. I think Carl put it in the chat, flip-flop. It is flip-flop. When you change game to game, it is flip-flop, isn't it? But one thing I especially can't back or can't support is people wishing that we lose just so Ole's out.
No,
I hate it.
I agree with you.
I just think it's harsh. Like, that's someone's job. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, I don't sit here and say you can't say Ole out, because football's a game of opinions, and I completely support any opinion. That's fair enough. But it's more the hurl of abuse and the wishing that we lose. I just don't get it at all. I don't get it. Medesa says, it was me who said that we have to lose against Everton. But that's the kind of thing. Why though? Why would you wish that on your manager? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you want us to lose? Surely getting higher up the table is the most important thing. I don't understand that at all. David, that's where Meg is. It's Meg's husband's birthday today, so she's struggling. Bless her. She said she would try and get over, but she's obviously doing birthday things, which is fair enough. And Don says Matic over McTominay. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, I would always pick Matic, because Matic offers us that safety net in front of front of the defence, and I just feel safe with him. You know, he cleans up, he just gets the ball out and he moves it out quick enough. Scott, sometimes I just feel a bit on edge with him. So for me, between those two, it's 100% Matic.
Yeah, I think Matic's experience, obviously, and look, one thing I saw it today with Bruno. Bruno gets in these little pockets of space, doesn't he, in front of the back four, and you're thinking just want someone to fire that ball through the lines, between the lines, and get it to him, play that risky pass. And quite often, you see it's Bruno who drops, when Matic isn't playing in particular, Bruno's the one who drops deep, and he's the one who plays those fire balls into the pockets to other players. And you want Bruno to be picking the ball up there. So it's almost like you need a mini Bruno to sit and play the ball through. And I think that's what Matic does do well. He does try and play those disguised balls through the lines, and that's where, obviously, we need some more risky passes, basically. And I think Fred does try it, but like I say, Fred at the moment gives the ball away, but not at the moment, sorry. Fred is quite common to give the ball away, but Fred is playing phenomenal at the moment. He's one of the first names, if not the first name on the team sheet, surely, for West Brom, Emma.
No, 100%. I mean, like, you cannot take it away from Fred. His performances lately have been absolutely amazing, and he's come on leaps and bounds. You know, when he went through that bad period of where his performances were so bad, you know, Pogba came back, he wasn't playing as much, and now it's like he's found his confidence again. He's found his sharpness. He's just looking absolutely amazing, and he has to start against West Brom.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He has to start.
I agree. There's some people in chat saying that Matic was awful against Istanbul. He was. I mean, that goal, it wasn't solely on Matic, but he was the nearest man for Demba Ba. I don't even want to talk about that because that was just despicable. Like, I can't even express what we witnessed there. But yeah, Matic, I think pace-wise, McTominay obviously has the better over Matic's energy in there. He's got a lot more than what Matic has got. But in terms of passing and experience in there positionally, I think Matic is a better player. But yeah, I agree. I think for lack of energy, he's not getting any younger, is he? So I agree. Matic is getting on a bit. I think he'd be more of a bit part player, to be honest with you. Adam, thank you for the super chat. He says you have to give Ole some credit because the pressure he has been under this week and for a while has been crazy, but he cracks on and pulls through. It does always seem to get results, doesn't he, when he needs them most, Emma? He always seems, it's like the going gets tough. Whenever it seems like it could be the end for him, he seems to pull a result out of the bag, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said earlier, it's like Ole just thrives off the pressure. When there is pressure, when there is a big game, he just thrives off it, and he gets what we want. He gets the win. He proves people wrong all the time. Just when there's that like gap of like, you know, he's on the verge of being sacked. You know, if he has a bad game, like as if this whole game rided on him. Does he stay? Does he go? And he just pulls it out the bag, and he gets the win, and he just proves everyone wrong. So I just think he just thrives off that pressure, and he does it very well.
Yeah, he does, but I think the frustrating thing is we don't want to be in that tough situation. We don't want to be that close to losing our manager. We want to go on a good run again and get a positive string of results rather than being so up and down, isn't it? And I think that, like we mentioned earlier, the key thing is consistency, and we simply haven't had it. And I'm sure that if we don't continue to get consistency, we'll have the same situation where this result is probably just, I don't know, lengthened Ole's time at the club, and I'm hoping that isn't the case. I'm hoping we can kick on from that now. Like I say, international break, we could argue it's at a really good time or at a really bad time. I'm hoping that it's the other one. It's a good time and we can rest a few players and get a few players back for West Brom. But going into that game, do you feel confident that we're going to get the win against West Brom?
After hearing how Ole's spoken in his press conference, he said something like, "You won't see a loss from us again." Like, it's big call from Ole that he's making as well. And Ole's being really confident, and it will project into the players as well. They'll probably feel confident. This win against Everton will be a massive boost, and I think maybe the international break will give them time to come back much fitter, much sharper. So I'm feeling very confident. I think, you know, it's only ways up for us, really. We're going to climb even more, and I think we'll go into that game and we'll get the 3 points. No worries.
Yeah, it's like Giorgio said here, I lost to West Brom and this result is forgotten. Spot on, isn't it? Spot on. Like battering Leipzig and then losing to Arsenal, and you're like, what? You know, it's true. Consistency is key, and that's something we've been lacking. Thomas is fuming at the zebra kit. You're just jealous. It's class kit. You know, I've noticed as well. I tested it against PSG. I did the same against Leipzig. When I post a picture of me in this shirt before kickoff, we win. So I tried it today. I didn't do it against Arsenal. I tried it today, and we won again. So you know what? I think it might be a new superstition. It's something that I need to do before every game. I think just so we get the win. And this is really clutching at straws now. But anything to get a bit of consistency, and that's all we want. Medusa said 5-0 to United against West Brom. I hope we see that.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going
Oh.
for the superstitious. I'm not normally superstitious, but yeah. Sonny makes a good point. Wan-Bissaka was on his wasteful with his crosses, which was good to see Maguire more solid too. Yeah, I think Maguire had a solid game. I saw someone mention Maguire being a bad signing earlier. I do think he's improved us defensively. I don't think he's a bad signing. I just think we overpaid for him, ridiculously. But Wan-Bissaka was on his wasteful. I think Luke Shaw on the other side as well. I do think our fullbacks going forward, we've been improving. I think that's one thing I will say, especially Luke Shaw. But Wan-Bissaka as well going forwards, you can see that they're obviously coaching, they're obviously working on getting more from our fullbacks, aren't they?
No, 100%. And Wan-Bissaka, I did worry at the start of today's game. I thought, you know what? Oh, he'd make us a bad choice, especially when Bernard scored that goal. I thought you got done there a little bit. Wan-Bissaka, you should be a bit more on it. You should be, reading that a bit more. It wasn't just his fault. Lindelof got bullied in the air by Calvert-Lewin. I don't understand why Lindelof is in the air. We all know that Lindelof is not great in the air, so it should have been Maguire. Maguire had everything in the air today. You could not fault him in the air today. So I think there needs to be a bit more communication there. We know Calvert-Lewin and Lindelof is just not good in the air. So when Calvert-Lewin is in the air, bringing the balls down with his head, it should have been Maguire condemning that instead of Lindelof, who just got bullied.
Yeah, I think what Calvert-Lewin is a handful. We've seen it already in the Premier League. Is a handful for any defender, and it's not necessarily winning that first ball because there's a good chance he will win it. He's not stupid. He obviously put himself against Lindelof. He knew he had the advantage there, and so he will win that first ball a lot of the time. It's more about us being defensively aware and winning that second ball, and especially in that first half, especially when everything at that period of play where they were dominating us, they were winning a lot of second balls. And that's what we needed to improve. And to be fair, I think we did improve that. But like I say, Lindelof, he is vulnerable in the air. He is, definitely. And that was always my worry with Calvert-Lewin. If he gets a header against him in the box, he'll beat him. Luckily, that didn't happen. Obviously, the run up to the goal, he did win the header. But I think it was more about how he reacted. You mentioned Wan-Bissaka. He needed to be tight to Bernard. He should not be getting a shot away there, definitely. He does get a shot away and obviously wrong foot to the higher. But yeah, I think it's more about winning that second ball. And I think that's what we need to be better at doing because obviously Lindelof in the air, when he does play against more physical strikers, he does struggle. And I think I'm going to ask you this question: do you think that's why Lindelof in the Champions League, he seems more composed? Do you think it's the fact that obviously Champions League football, European football, isn't as physical as you probably would say the Premier League is? You don't come across many big physical number 9s, do you, in the Champions League as opposed to the Premier League?
No, I think that makes a good point, actually, Seth. I never really thought of it like that, but yeah, it is completely different, and maybe that's why Lindelof has been showing his qualities a bit more in the Champions League, and he's been improving because that's a bit better from where it is in the Premier League. Like you said, we've got these pacey number 9s, these big number 9s that do bully Lindelof a little bit, especially when he's in the air. So no, I actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I think Lindelof, to be fair, he played well today. I know people criticising him because of what happened with Calvert-Lewin and that. Oh, sorry, Em. I think it's a bit lagging for some reason between us two. Go on, carry on. You carry on talking.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch what you're saying.
I don't know why it's so laggy.
I don't know.
Someone needs my help. Let me know. You can hear me now. Good. We're back in the game. But yeah, obviously a big win. We're going to the international break. We should be feeling positive as United fans going into this international break. Hopefully some players get a rest. Hopefully we bounce back and get the win against West Brom. And I'm sure we'll definitely be out with a video, obviously in time for the West Brom game. But Emma, as always, an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you for taking the time on this Saturday to come and talk about United, talk about a win. If you could just shout out and let people know where they can find you on your social media as well, and obviously subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, you can find me on my own YouTube channel, That United Family, which is along there. There. And
there you
also
go.
I'm on Twitter, @EmmaEdgar_.
Yeah, so go to That United Family on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, some great content there. And obviously go and follow Emma on all the social media as well. Always there with a lot of United content. We'll be back definitely at some point next week in the international break. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Thank you for all the super chats. I'd really appreciate it. We've hit 14k subs now, which is really good. Please continue to hit that sub button, guys, if you are new. Drop a like on the video. And of course, drop a comment in the comments afterwards if we haven't caught you in the live chat, and we'll respond to you there, guys. All that's left to say is have a lovely rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Take care. Keep smiling. I know we're in lockdown in a minute. Keep smiling. We'll all get through this together, definitely. And obviously, I'm going to watch Match of the Day tonight because I don't normally when United win. But thanks again to Emma. Thank you to you guys. Have a good one.